Hi, welcome to my channel. Today is February 2nd, 2026, and I am recording this video for the energies for the month of February 2026 and what our higher guides and divine wisdom would like for us to be aware of for this month of February. And I've pulled the cards, and so let's take a look at them and see what messages are going to be coming through for us to assist us this month. So the first thing I'm going to notice here is this card called Time's Arrow. And here we have a young girl holding a crystal ball, and she is giving it to this dragon frog, and to assist him in foreseeing the future. And but perhaps she hasn't been able to discern what's happening in the future. And I think we all are innately feel that we like to know what's going to happen. We like to know what's ahead. But if we are always hesitating or waiting to make decisions until we have, a clear indicator for what the future outcome is going to be, if we always do that, then we could be waiting, forever, procrastinating and not making decisions and not taking actions and taking steps. And so it's really important for us to be in that present moment and to realize that it is in that no time, the time of the present moment, that all those important decisions that we make can be made. We really have to we have to really begin any new project from that place of stillness, from that place of being present and not worrying about the unknown future. Yes, it is good to plan. Planning is important. It is good to think about the importance of the actions that we take and how that's going to impact the future. How does that impact people, places, and things that we know? That is important, but it is also important not to just wait in fear of the future. So we're not making any decisions or any moves because we don't feel like we know 100% the outcome, because we really never can. And so it's important to just take that time to go within. And that's what this Queen of Cups does. She is a master of her emotions. She's a master of looking within. So when she looks in this cup, it's really her looking within herself and listening to her heart. And we're being guided to do that, because from that place, we will make the right choices and decisions, and we will know what steps to take to create the future that we want this month. So as she's scrying in those waters of the cup, she's really looking within. The waters in the cup card are really reflecting the waters of our being, our emotions, our emotional body. So, and there's a fair amount of water in this month's reading. So we're definitely being prompted to really look at our emotions and to really intend to be heart-centered. And to, by that, breathing into our heart. There's HeartMath has heart coherence meditations that can be very helpful. which are basically pretty simple, of just breathing with the intention that that breath, we're breathing in through the heart and out through the heart as well. And that, especially if we can hold a vision of something that is joyous and happy and love-filled while we do so, that will really help to center us in our heart chakra. Now the Emperor is, so we have three major arcana cards this month that showed up in the tarot. So major arcana cards are going to be more of our higher self guidance. This is going to be something more concrete and not transient. It's our higher selves coming in and offering us guidance to assist us in the next steps ahead. So that we can move through the month of February with more grace and ease. And the Emperor is coming in to bring us a solid foundation and reminding us the importance of creating a solid foundation. And now people may feel that if we look at news, or if we look out there and what we hear in the radio, or whatever, it can seem very chaotic. And especially we've had a fair amount of very chaotic storms, weather conditions. And so the Emperor is coming in to just remind us to be that calm in the storm, to be like with a hurricane, to be in the center, the eye of the hurricane, where we can be in that calm place, not caught in the chaos. Also, the Emperor, along, I would say, with the Queen of Cups, are reminding us to take the time to, as she's doing here, take the time to help our neighbors. Take the time to help our relatives, family, our extended family. It doesn't have to be our biological family. It can be the family, of our choosing, our friends, our close friends that are like family. But also our neighbors, really opening up to, because the Emperor takes care of his kingdom. He makes firm decisions, yes, but he, like a benevolent father figure, will make firm decisions, but really is making the choices based on consideration for others, consideration for his people of his kingdom. And so I think we're being also reminded this month to take the time to, ask somebody, how's your day going? And really mean to be there for them if they give a response, not just in like, how's your day going? Fine, whatever, and off you go. Really, holding space for people and listening. Now we have the Upper World card. It's an oracle card. And the first thing that comes to mind with this card is to, again, rise above any situation that we're faced with this month, and to know and trust that we do have divine guidance and divine assistance. So now our eyes can only perceive a small fraction of what is out there. And we are fractals. We are fractals of Source, of our divine creator Source, Mother, Father, God, whatever you call Source creator, or divine creator, or God. And so our higher guides, our divine Source, loves us and is there to assist us. But we have free will here in this life. So that we can learn and grow and experience more of ourselves. But there are times when it's really helpful to ask for that assistance. So this card is prompting us to ask for assistance from our higher selves, from our source, creator God, whatever we call source, or our higher guides, to ask for that assistance and that divine guidance and assistance in recognizing the messages that come through for us. This card is also prompting us to think big. This came through a little bit on the January reading, where we are being prompted to really expand our capabilities, to expand our reach, to look at ourselves as more powerful than perhaps we have. We often tend to think of ourselves, limit ourselves, or feel like we're smaller than we really are. We're actually very capable and talented and skilled and creative divine beings. And the Upper World card is encouraging us to really expand our thinking about what we are capable of. We often limit ourselves based on old programming as far as what we think we can do or create or manifest. And the Upper World card is encouraging us to think big, think big. So we've gone through the year of the snake. I have this beautiful snake here. We're basically ending that, where we're letting go of the old paradigm, false limiting beliefs. We're shedding that old skin so that we can come into the year of the horse. We have here the year of the horse, the fire horse, where we can then really feel liberated and free. What does horse medicine represent? It is that freedom. And they're of course very healing animal. They're very very powerful. So they represent coming into our power and coming into freedom, a sense of freedom. I think we have, as a world, been actually pretty restricted with the old programming and false limiting beliefs, as well as cultural constraints. And it's time for us to really embody more and more of our higher self, and to share our gifts freely with others. We have the Lover's card here, along with the Queen of Swords. Now, although the Lover's card here is shown a young couple embracing, it is not, the Lover's card in the tarot, which is a major arcana card, is not necessarily about romantic love. It is a card about commitment, and it's a card about choice. And so for the month of February, I feel that commitments and choices and decisions and contracts are all going to be coming up for us. What are we committed to? What are we contracted to? What have I contracted to? Maybe it's referring to a particular belief we've contracted to that doesn't serve us. Now, the Queen of Swords is sometimes considered the no BS queen. So she cuts through the BS. She cuts through what is not real. And she's coming in to assist us, because it's harder to make a clear choice if we're not discerning, if we are not willing to set the healthy boundaries, if we're not willing to take a pause. Now, one thing she does is, in her positive aspect, the Queen of Swords she's a bit like, if you're familiar with Star Trek, she would be a bit like Spock, in that she has emotions, but she does not let them rule her actions and choices. She puts her emotions aside, and she is very analytical, and she makes those clear decisions. So it's not to be emotionless, but simply to not allow our emotions to carry us away, in that we get reactive. So it's about being calm and centered, and from that place we make our clear choices. So um, she's also bringing in the energy to cut away energetically those things that no longer serve us, cutting away the people, places, and things, and or beings that do not serve our highest good with grace and ease. So when we cut cords of attachment, we do that simply with intent. We call on our higher self. I cut cords of attachment to people, places, and things that do not serve my highest good now. And then, of course, whatever we cut away, we want to fill in with high frequency energy. So then we call on the highest of energy, benevolent, divine power, the power of love, beautiful, healing, divine energy to fill our being and to fill in those places where those cords of attachment were. And when we cut cords of attachment, let's say we're cutting cords of attachment between us and a particular person we knew. If we cut cords of attachment to a particular person, for example, it'll never cut cords of love. It's only those cords of attachment that are codependent or that are toxic or not healthy for us. So the Queen of Swords is coming in here for this month to assist us in cutting those cords, because we're really being prepared for like March, the equinox, to really then things will start moving. And we don't want, like in the Chariot card, we don't want our chariot we want all of its parts to be working perfectly and in alignment. We want us, and that's us. We want us to be in alignment with our goals of what we want to manifest, and that so that in March we just, we go forward with whatever we're wanting to call into our lives and manifest in our lives, for ourselves, for our family, friends, etc., or the world, and or. But if that chariot, so to speak, is not in alignment, we haven't cut all those, cut away those attachments, so to speak, energetically, then that cart, is going to, derail, so to speak, on that path, and it's going to be a bumpy ride ahead. So we're just being assisted to make those clear choices. What have we contracted to in the past, and has it served us? Of course, there's always lessons to be learned, so we have to be compassionate and thankful and appreciative for the lessons we've learned. But that doesn't mean that we want to continue with a particular mode or way of thinking or being. We may realize that a particular belief we had, and in a sense energetically contracted to by choosing that belief, maybe that belief doesn't serve us anymore, so we're going to let it go. We no longer are contracted to that particular belief. It doesn't serve us anymore. It could be also about relationships. So relationships are may be a factor here, as far as is this relationship healthy for me? We could have a friendship that doesn't feel that healthy, maybe feels a bit toxic, maybe feels a bit maybe like it's not an equal give and exchange, and nothing is ever totally equal, but perhaps it feels more like that particular person sucks your energy dry. And if that's the case, then are we going to allow that? Because it can only happen if we're allowing it. Is that serving us to allow another to vampire, so to speak, our energy? Is it beneficial for us to leak our energy away to others, other types of relationships, or a particular job. And I'm not saying to get up and quit a job that doesn't feel appropriate at this time, but maybe we're going to take the steps to start looking for that other type of work that is more fulfilling for us, or a better environment that will be more harmonious for us and more fulfilling for us, more inspiring for us. So really, this card is coming up to guide us to look at the choices we have made in our life and that we are making in our lives, and really decide, is this a healthy choice? This is a healthy decision. And what, if not, what steps can I take to create greater harmony? And now, for example, if there's a toxic personal relationship, well, okay, I can be honest and speak with that particular person and see if something could be worked out, giving them that opportunity for that change, or seeing, allowing that communication to happen. And the Queen of Swords is about communicating. So, and I would say, the little caveat for that is that the Queen of Swords can be a bit blunt and sometimes harsh. And we don't want to do that, preferably. So, but we do want to be authentic. So definitely we want to use her energy of authenticity. And the upper world card also is referring to being our authentic selves, and to really start with intention to embody our authentic self. And the Queen of Swords is coming in to help us to speak our authentic self, to not swallow those words that we really wish, we kind of wanted to say, or to, in order to be our authentic self, we can't keep acquiescing, giving away our power to others just to please, or for a need for love. So we're being prompted to be honest with ourselves and to be honest with others. Next, we have the what do I want to pick up first? Well, we have the Ace of Wands. So, and this looks like a dragon, but also it reminded me initially of the year of the fire horse coming in. And I do feel that this is what this card is partially referring to. And that big energy, it's powerful energy. Horses are powerful, and they're powerful medicine. Wands represent our will. They represent our passion. They represent our soul's desire. And the aces are a new beginning. They are a gift from our divine creator source, Mother, Father, God. And we can choose to be so distracted that we don't even recognize that we're being given a gift from source or from our higher self. Or we can recognize that gift and take hold of that wand, that our passion, our will, our desires for what we want to create in our life. We can grab that spiritual wand and move forward with it. So that, and the wands, just to note, they are always shown as a piece of wood, or almost always shown in the decks as a piece of wood with growth. So it's important for, like, where are we going to plant our desire of what we want to manifest, our will? We need to actually anchor it in order for it to manifest, right? It's not going to manifest if we never plant that seed. We have to plant it. And I feel like this is where the Seven of Wands is coming up. it's, here we see a rather large man who's super strong and pulling out two trees to defend himself. And of course, whoever these people are here, they don't stand a chance. Obviously, they're little wands and he can pull up big giant trees. I think this is a reminder for us of our power and that we are more powerful than we allow ourselves to be. And we're often afraid of stepping into our power because we're afraid, well, I might make a wrong decision. Or what if I accidentally, I don't know, some has a negative ramification of something I do with my power. I think as long as we just, if it's coming from a place of the heart, if it's coming from a place of love, then it's going to be fantastic. And that love can be our passion for sharing our gifts. What do I like to do in life? How would I like to share myself? How would I like to show up in life? And this is reminding us to honor that and to know that we are more powerful than we could ever imagine. Now, the child card came up here. And this brings in imagination. It brings in that youthful innocence. That youthful innocence that doesn't have the limitations and believes that anything is possible. And we are being reminded to realize that we are infinite beings and anything is possible. We can create and manifest amazing things in our lives. And so the child is coming in here for that, to remind us to love and honor all aspects of ourselves, including the wounded aspects of ourselves, which are our inner child. Just love on that part of ourselves and allow that inner child to integrate into our wholeness so that we can really express who we are freely and be less likely to be triggered by events or things around us. I do believe that this also could indicate that there'll be a focus on children and the youth in the world and bringing healing and protection for them. And that will also be, just as we want to protect our own inner child by not berating ourselves, by not being self-judgmental of ourselves, but in loving that wounded aspects of ourselves. I think also there's a possibility that, more awareness of perhaps events and things regarding children may be a factor this month, and we will really want to contribute to protecting the innocent children, and keep, really making decisions that are going to assist in creating an environment that's healthy for children and that's safe for them moving forward. I think that will possibly be something that will come up this month as we move forward. So we have I'm going to choose this card to start with. We have the Hermit card coming up. So although the Fire Horse is coming in on the 17th, I feel that we're still in this period where we're still in the winter. It's still until March, the equinox, spring equinox. It's still a good time for that germination, for taking that time to be quiet and still and to connect in so we can hear our own inner wisdom. So we're being asked to not allow a lot of distraction. Yes, we want to maybe tap in through, each day just to see kind of what's going on. It's not to put your head in the sand and ignore the world. No. But where are we allowing ourselves to be distracted from ourselves? So where are we allowing ourselves to be distracted from ourselves? Some people overwork so that they're working so much time they never have time to be quiet. And because then they're kind of maybe concerned about what emotions might come up. And emotions are likely to come up this month because we have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is still mastering their emotions. They're not the king yet. They haven't totally mastered it. But they're following their heart and their passion. And then we have the Six of Cups here. So there is going to probably be a lot of emotions coming up this month for us. And really, one thing about us as a human being is our emotions may seem a bit like a blessing and a curse. So they are actually one of our amazing gifts. We have such a wealth and depth of emotions and flavors of emotions. It's incredible. But it can also be very difficult and challenging as well. And we're really being guided to allow our emotions to process through. So not allowing them to control ourselves or to control our actions, because that would be being reactive. We don't want to be reactive this month. If you feel reactive, be still and be that hermit. It says retreat and recharge. So if you're feeling emotionally charged, if you're feeling emotionally like not grounded, and feeling very reactive, retreat and recharge. Give yourself a timeout. And because then you'll be able to be the healthy Knight of Cups. And the healthy Knight of Cups is in pursuit, wearing their heart on their sleeve. They're holding their cup of their emotions, their heart in front of them, and they're just moving along on their horse. And they're just going to shower everybody with their love. And they're also in pursuit of that Grail quest. They're in the pursuit of their passion, and we are, as I said earlier, being prompted to be our authentic self. And when we're making the choice to contract for ourselves. How are we going to commit to ourselves? Let's commit to ourselves first. That's the most important. Yes, commit to your divine creator source, but commit to yourself. Then, when you're committed to yourself and to what's most important for you, and to loving and honoring yourself first, then you're available to attract those healthy friendships, healthy relationships, healthy environment, healthy working environment. It's from that place we're able to create and manifest a healthy life, a healthy world. So definitely take that time to retreat, to recharge. Find ways to do so, even if it has to be small little bits. Because the Six of Cups is often about something from the past coming back to the future to be, and it's usually something very good and positive. It's usually a gift given. It's usually an older child giving a younger child a gift, and that older child is giving that younger child a gift not with any attachments, not like you owe me something or I want something from you. It's just pure unconditional love. And so this card does invite you um, to the, to be in the heart, to be unconditionally loving. But of course, that all starts with being unconditionally loving to ourselves. And then we'll find that we're better able to be unconditionally loving to others. This is also a card of nostalgia. Um, it is also potentially a card of past lives, something coming forward, or something from the past. So I think this will be a time of processing, the past, and that's perhaps why this, retreat card is here. Because in order to do that, we have to take the time to be still and not for over processing. So we don't want to be frozen and in over processing the past. Ultimately, we want to be present, but there will be, I think, a rebalancing by bringing healing to the past. So we're not living in the past. We don't want to live in the past. We want to live in the present and create a new and better future, more positive future for not only ourselves, but for everyone moving forward, for generations forward. So I just realized, because I chose the cards, but I didn't really look at them before this video. So just realized there are 2 Knights of Cups. So from a different deck, we have another Knight of Cups. So a lot of emotions, a lot of movement forward. These knights move forward on a horse. So we have the year of the horse, the fire horse coming up. And I like to think of, the cups and the as our heart chakra and the love. What love are we bringing forward? So I do feel there's a lot of love in this reading. But there's also a lot of prompting for us to follow our dreams. When the CV hit and things were sort of locked down, a lot of people, one benefit from that is a lot of people realized, I really don't like my work, that I've been doing. I really want to do something different. And a lot of people started to do other different things. And I think it's important for us, we're continued through this reading, I would say for the month of February, we are being guided to really evaluate what is feeding our soul, what is feeding our heart, our passion, and to maybe make some adjustments so that we can live our passion. And I do feel we have the spiral card here. It's a bit like a snake coiling. It's also the spiral of life. And this card, I think, is reminding us, as with this beautiful snake I have here. I'll show you. Really reminding us to let go of that old skin. And when we do, to not be afraid of that, because when we do, we're a little bit vulnerable. We may feel vulnerable because, like a serpent that's shed their skin and they have that new skin, and it, feels very sensitive. Like the first time you walk barefoot and you have no calluses, and so every little pebble, it feels sore. And then people who walk barefoot all the time, they've got these nice calluses and things, and it doesn't hurt them to be walking on rocks and pebbles and things. So at first, that sense, the spiral's reminding us not only of the spiral of life, we are evolving, we're moving up, and we're circling back and around, possibly revisiting some things and then getting a new perspective and then spiraling upward and upward and upward. And we want to go to a higher frequency each time. And I would say we are. But also, as we have let go of the past, as we have reevaluated, cut cords of attachment to people, places, and things that don't serve our highest good, there is a sense of vulnerability and of that unknown. And we had in the beginning, this little frog, and frogs, what do? They leap, right? So we want to be able to leap ahead, but we could feel very vulnerable. And this frog's maybe afraid to leap ahead, and so wanted her to, look at the crystal ball and tell him what to expect before he leaps ahead. But it's not going to work that way. We need to really take that leap of faith, and we can do that. We can ask for our divine guidance. We can ask for positive synchronicities to come into our lives, and that we are given the ability to recognize and understand those signs and synchronicities and symbols that come into our lives, so we can recognize the opportunities and use them in healthy ways. And we have the Judgment card here. And the Judgment card comes here in. It's the Major Arcana card. It comes to us when we are given a second chance. And now, usually it's showing, so there's a graveyard down here. Usually it's showing people in their coffins coming out. And we got this card, I think, last January, or what might have been December. But so that energy is still here. So for the month of February, there is this second chance energy. What have we died to let go of? And we have. And I feel like it's indicating that we have and we will globally, let go of those old paradigms that don't serve us, those old false beliefs. We really will have let go of them. And now the benevolent, divine, angelic beings, for example, in this card, are coming, or our higher selves, are coming to us, announcing and sort of waking us up to our purpose, to our life purpose. And so often people might come to me and say, I really want to know what I'm supposed to do. I really want to know my life purpose. And the thing is that we already do know. We're just afraid to do it because of old programming that says, well, you're not good enough, or you can't do it, or no, you won't make enough money at it, or what will people think? How will I be judged? We always know. And what is our life purpose? Our life purpose is whatever feeds our soul, whatever energizes us, whatever makes us want to get up in the morning and go do that particular thing. That is how, when we do that, whatever it is, it doesn't have to be like, I'm saving the world. By whatever we're doing, following our passion, we are having a tremendous positive effect on the entire world. The plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom, and the animal kingdom, and the human kingdom, because our vibration, because we're doing what we love, will radiate out from us. So you may notice, well, I'll give you an example. So the other day, I participated in a wellness fair at Four Bodies Community Wellness Center in Elliott, Maine. And prior to it, that particular morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted. I'm feeling really tired. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I feel like I need to lay down and take a nap. But I knew from past experiences that I would perk up. So I gathered up all my stuff. I went, set up my booth, started doing readings, and oh my goodness, at the end of the day, I'm just full of energy because I'm in my element. I'm sharing what I love. I'm living my passion. When we live our passion, our cells are happy. Our body is happy. And so we're in alignment. When we're living our passion, we're in alignment. So we literally, like a breatharian, we're getting life force energy from divine, source, from the sun and from Mother Earth. And it fills our being. We don't even have to eat because we're just in our element. Yeah, like artists, they get in the groove, whether they're writing a book, and they go for hours and hours and hours, and they're just so energized because they're in their passion. Or a painter, or whatever you're doing, accounting, gardening, taking care of grandchildren, or your own children, whatever it is that is feeding your soul, that is going to fill you and fill you with that energy and keep you healthy and vibrant. And also, it will affect all those around you. It will help to uplift. So we are being guided this month. I feel like that's the main message, to set healthy boundaries, to cut cords of attachment to people, places, and things that do not serve our highest good, to take the time to retreat and recharge. There's going to be plenty of time. Do not be in scarcity. Do not feel like there's a limit. If I don't do this now, then I'm going to lose the opportunity. There is time. But it's important to be recharged. It's important to take that time to be quiet, to be still, and to listen to our own inner guidance. So taking a moment, in the morning, for example, all right, what do I want to do today? Yeah, okay, I have my job or whatever else, or responsibility or children to take care of, but also what's going to feed my soul, and how can I show up today? How can I be more and more of my authentic self? And, just as a serpent sheds their skin, what do? They grow larger, right? They're expanding into more and more of their authentic self, and we are being guided and assisted to do so. And we're being reminded that life is not linear. Time is actually an illusion. And it would be helpful to let go of the time constraints. We probably will be changing our calendar system because it's not really in the natural rhythms of nature at some point. But here we have, worrying about time and worrying about leaping forward versus flowing with the spiral of life, which is the natural rhythms of life, and manifesting our dreams. And so I guess on that, I am wishing you an amazingly wonderful month of February, and I will see you next month. All the best. Bye.